bit better every day. And today I'll be going for Puzzle Streak. Now, if you don't know what Puzzle Streak is similar to Puzzle Rush over on chess.com, but Puzzle Streak is a bit different in the sense that it's only one strike and you're out. But what I do like about Puzzle Streak is so far it seems to finish every puzzle for me rather than chess.com, which will just end it straight away. Also, the puzzles are feeling a little bit more real. So I'll be doing that today, trying to break, I think 35 sounds like a good number. But before we do, let's just get comfortable. Okay, so this one's black to move. And straight away when looking at this board, I can see that the bishop is covering that square up there, which means there should be some sort of checkmate over here. And of course, if the queen goes here, it's captured, but if it goes here, it can't be captured. Dominic, welcome, good morning. Yeah, we need more of those thumbnails. I'm a little bit late today. Unfortunately, I had a phone appointment that I needed to do and my phone cut out a signal. So I had to delay that meeting until 9 o'clock. So I was hoping to get on here at 9, but because I was delayed a little bit, running a little bit late today. How are you anyway? How are you doing? So this one looks like a fork, but I don't want to rush it, but there's what I'm looking at straight away. And I am trying to see if there's something better before I go for that. And there is something better. There is not. Yeah, I think the fork is going to be it. Yeah, and technical issues, they can be huge because anything can go wrong at any time. Any sort of update can happen and then nothing works suddenly. I mean, setting up the stream alone, just setting it up took ages because I had to install different plugins and those different plugins started breaking other things. And because I'm streaming from a board instead of from a screen where you just click a mouse, there's a lot that goes into it. So if anything breaks anywhere, then I have to go back and fix everything. This one's one's white to move. So yeah, just starting out this morning, just trying to get a little bit more comfortable, get warmed up. So this one's a discovered attack. Thank you for the likes. We'll see if my my alerts are turned on. No worries, Elo. Which book was that? I'm guessing that was the Yusupov books. Did you end up getting them, or have you just sort of looked into them a bit? Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you can do the Yusupov books, you're gonna get better. Like, I don't have any sort of like affiliate links or anything for them. I don't have any sort of incentive to say that you're gonna get better using Yusupov, but you're gonna get better using Yusupov. Did you make the mistake I did and order all 9 of the books? Because they come in blue and green as well. Let's have a look. Maiden 2. Yes, Maiden 2. So queen up check, only move, and then queen there for checkmate. Looks good to me. Who said that? Well done, well done. Thomas, thank you for the follow. I'm not sure if I heard the follow alert. Yeah, so when I ordered the Yusupov books, I was very ambitious, and I ordered the 9 books as a bundle. Probably saved a little bit of money, but I still haven't got through the blue books yet, so the green books are just sitting there. But I really need to get back into it. I am doing a half day today, so I'm doing a bit of streaming, and then I've got some, unfortunately, some admin work I've got to do. And then after the admin work, maybe I'll pick up a Yusupov book and give it a go. Black to move, and the first thing I'm looking at is this nice easy check, which is also a fork. But it's not a fork because that's protected by the queen. But what I was also looking at was bishop takes first, and king takes, and then we go there, and the king has to go up, and then we do have a proper fork. And if the king comes back, well, the king's not going to go back after so if the pawn takes, and then the king goes back, then we have that fork there. So don't want to jump on the queen move too quick. Was I wrong? Oh wow, that's bad. Thank you for the follow. Let's pretend that didn't happen. And a new streak. So 12 is the number to beat. D3 check and then goes back in the checkmate. Wow. I'm still waking up. I've got my coffee. We'll get there. We'll get there. I started a new streak, so I've got to reconnect the board. Yeah. Running off a few hours today, so Need that coffee to kick in, and then we'll be hitting those 35 numbers again. Thanks, Dominic. Are you hanging around longer, or are you heading off? What time is it over there? All right, let's start again. So it's black to move. That's just a skewer. Today I'm on Chess. I'm doing Puzzle Streak on Chess. Now I'm usually on chess.com, but somebody recommended this to me and I tried it out and it's really nice, really nice. So the puzzles just feel more real. I don't know if that's something, but it feels better. And the fact that you get knocked out after one makes it a little bit more challenging. Black to move. I don't need to rotate the board for this one. I can already see it from here. No, it's white to move. There it is. Oh, very nice, very nice. Well, no, thank you for the kind words, and I hope so too. I did a new video yesterday on my channel, and it's doing pretty well. Took me a long time to edit, but it took a long time to make, but yeah, I got it up last night, and it's doing quite well. So I naturally hope that continues. And of course, the streaming is a lot of fun as well. So still finding my path on streaming, what's entertaining, what's fun to do. I think yesterday's stream with the game reviews was really good, and I think I might keep that. All right, so this one's black to move. I'm on black. So we've got to check. Then we've got to check. Not sure what I'm missing here. What am I missing? This is like a level 4 puzzle. What am I missing? Is everything set up correctly? I'm missing something here. I'm tripping. Yeah, I know knight e2 check. And then we got that fork. I gotta wake up. I gotta have more coffee. I swear I know how to play. All right. Guys, if you've just joined us, today we're doing Puzzle Streak. I think we got up to around 30, 35, somewhere around there last time we did this. And we're going to try and beat that today. All right, white to move. Why am I so lost today? All right, let's break it down. Checks. Nope. No other checks. We got this check here. Doesn't seem any good. Oh, there it is. We got the discovered. There we go. To look at the whole board. Yeah, everyone's getting it before me today. Guys, if you're new here, don't forget to follow. I am streaming 4 to 5 days per week. I got my schedule of Monday to Friday and also on Sunday. All right, I'm getting this one first before anyone shouts it out. This board is the Chessnut Move. I'll pop the website on for you here. You can go to wiki.com/chessnut and it's called the Move. And I've done reviews on this board and all the other boards you see there. So you can check out that link there if you're interested in having a look at this board. I've also done reviews and tutorials on how to get better. I actually did a new video last night on how to use this board and make your own opening trainer. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out my channel. But yeah, this one is called the Chessnut Move with wooden pieces. They also have plastic pieces, which will save you about $100. And I can tell you right now, the plastic pieces and the wooden pieces, they both kind of feel the same. So it really comes down to your preference of if you like wood or plastic. On YouTube, can we use the Chessnut Move with other chess videos? Like if we have a chess course and the course shows a certain position with the board to move to that position. I know you can do that with the Evo, because I've personally done that with the Evo. With the Move, I'm not sure, but I will check that out. And if I can find a way to do it, I'll let you know. Go ahead when you get a chance and ask me that question in any of my videos, and that way I'll get a notification that you asked that question. Don't reply to any of my comments, but just ask a new question, and I'll look into it and I'll see if I can make it happen. Okay, so this one is black to move. Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so this one here, nice little puzzle. When the rook, if they take, go ahead and ask it in my recent video if you haven't already checked it out, because my next video probably won't come out for another week or so. But make sure you check out my recent video. Thank you for the follow. Make sure you check it out, because it's a very handy video if you haven't already seen it. All right, what's going on, everyone? If you're just joining in, today we're doing Puzzle Rush. Gonna see how high we are. Not Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Streak over on Lead Chess. Black to move. Okay, not too difficult. I think if you were playing in a game, you would spot this like immediately because you're kind of setting it up. Got a nice little pin there. Thank you for the likes. Laban, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, white to move. How's the audio sounding for everyone over on YouTube and TikTok? White to move. Well, that's just a undefended piece. The bishop. So we take, let's check, we capture, then we take. We can see the coffee is kicking in now. DD, thank you for the follow. Guys, if you've done Puzzle Streak before, you would know it's one strike and you're out. If you have done it, let me know what's your personal best. Yeah, this is on Lead Chess. My ratings, 1700 FIDE, 1750 Rapid, chess.com, and I think somewhere around 19 to 2000 on Lead Chess. But I haven't really played on Lead Chess in a good couple of years. And I've actually got ratings turned off on it, so I can't even see them, so I'm not sure what it is. That's a cool puzzle. That's a cool puzzle. I'll give you guys a moment to figure this one out. And this is why I enjoy Puzzle Streak a lot more than Puzzle Rush. So it's not actually made into... How much is the chessboard? Night in the dark. Yeah, that's correct. How much is this chessboard? I'll pop my website up if you want to check it out. wiggy.com/chessnut. It's called the Chessnut Move. And it's actually on sale for until the 20th of April. I've got a code on there. Code WIGGY will get you 17% off, bringing the price down to $665 for the one with wooden pieces, and I think somewhere around 590 something for the plastic pieces. You can check that out on the website. I've got the prices up there. So this one here, what I came up with was knight here check. Now if the king goes here, the bishop comes up, and it's like a Bowden mate sort of checkmate style. The queen is protecting the knight so the king can't capture, and the knight is protecting the bishop. So knight here, queen takes, we can simply win the queen. And then, it's not quite checkmate after, but some good stuff is going to happen anyway if the knight blocks. Take that. So knight f7, great little tactic there. That'd be one you'd be proud of finding in a game. Thank you for the likes. Oh, we're almost at 800. Okay, I didn't look this far ahead for this move. I don't see a problem in taking it. Yeah, I can't take it because of the bishop. So I have to move the king. I have to move the king over here. Because king goes here, you're in a bit of trouble. Actually, king goes here, rook takes, king goes back, rook comes back. I don't know. Something like that. Either way, I'm moving the king this way. This one's going to be black to move. Okay, so this one's just a cool little puzzle, little end game that will have you a little bit upset if you get it wrong. Taking obviously loses, but pushing, and the bishop can't get in, so that's fine. DD, thank you for the likes. Oh, 1.1k, let's go. Can you 1v1 me, Luca? Maybe? Right now, we're doing the puzzle streak. We're at 13, we're trying to get to like 35, 40, see if we can get a new PB on there. I do accept challenges, just not right now. Okay, so this one's white to move. And yeah, this is just another good checkmate. This one comes pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are getting that. Thank you very much for the likes. King has to take, and then rook comes over for a checkmate. Luca, possibly another time. You can add me on chess.com if you want, but right now we're going through the puzzles. Today's more of a training day. Gameplay will be on another stream. and I do games offline as well. But if you add me, then I can always play you. Chess.com, username is Wiggy, WHIGGI. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with just doing a fork here. Stephen, thank you for the likes. What was that noise? Thanks for following, Stephen. All right. I mean, this just seems fine, I would assume. Oh my, why? Why? What happened there? My idea was to go back and then come over and pick up this pawn. What's wrong here? It's still winning. Okay. Damn. You get an extra move with check. Let's have a look. And then it says to go back. That's an interesting concept. Interesting. So yeah, Puzzle Streak. They're a bit harder than Puzzle Rush at 14, but also they're a bit harder. But also getting one wrong and then having to start again is also very unforgiving. Timmers, thank you for the follow. I mean, if you guys have seen me before, you would know that endgames are definitely not my strong point. And I have this problem of what feels logical to me is always wrong. So, on YouTube, this is the Chessnut move. And since you're on YouTube, you can actually check out my reviews of it. But I've got a website here, putting it up on screen now. wiki.com/chessnut, and I've done reviews on all of those boards there, as well as tutorials on how to get better using them. And if you are interested, I've also done an opening trainer video so that you can use your board to train your openings, kind of like a spaced repetition, but you get to build your own. Now, let's get back into it real quick with a black to move. And I think somebody already beat me to it with Queen F2 checkmate. And we're going to speed through these ones here, nice and quick. Let's turn this around. Okay. Overloaded queen. Yeah, if you're preparing for a tournament, hit me up on chess.com. Username is Wiggy, WHIGGI. Love to help prep for a tournament, maybe I can send you some videos that can help you out with this board. When is your tournament? And setting up pieces when you're doing puzzles can be quite time consuming. So I know what you mean there. You want to practice, but it can be very tiring when you're trying to focus, but you're also trying to make sure you get the board correct too. So yeah, I can help people with tournaments. Obviously, you know, skill level is going to be different. Thank you for the heart me. Skill level is going to be different. I've coached a lot of juniors, and I've also coached a lot of beginners. I'm not the strongest player, but I'm also not the weakest player, so I can definitely help some people with tournaments if they need tournament prep. But it's all about, you know, working with the right person. So this one here, like you can already see the difficulty is getting far, far harder. Winning the rook. So what I looked at here was check. And if he goes here, check. And then he goes here, check. And then he can't get out there. So yeah, the rook comes down and then the rook comes over. But here, and then check. And then move that way. Then we've got that move down there. So rook check, queen f7 is free rook. Yeah. So it's not. Yeah, it's going to be mate. It's not going to be mate because the other option they have is to block, take. But you know, you're winning eventually. So I think that's the important takeaway of doing these puzzle streaks is you need to figure out every single line before going for it. Spotting the right idea is half of it, but you know, you don't want to get surprises. Yeah, C8 for sure. Okay, white to move, and straight away I'm seeing the 4. It feels good enough to me. We'll go with the 4. This one's going to be black to move. Checkmate in 3. Checkmate in 3. Yes, you can play real matches with it. I usually play 15 minute plus 10 is my go-to for this board. I wouldn't really recommend it for Blitz. I'd recommend a smaller board for Blitz. But because this one moves the pieces and you can see how long it takes them to move, if you're playing a Blitz game, you got to wait for your opponent's piece to move, and that can cost you a lot of time. So I'm looking at Rook F8, but I'm also looking from the wrong point of view. I'm looking for black. So Rook F8, Bishop takes, and then Rook takes, and then Queen moves is what I was looking at, but it doesn't even work. But that's okay because we're actually black. I mean, we're actually white. We're actually white, and white to move. Okay, so white to move. I'm just looking at the checkmate here, and I don't see any way for them to stop it, except for sacrificing all their pieces. Yeah, it's a great board. I've done a review on this board, and I've also done a lot of different types of training videos for this board. So make sure to check those out on my channel. I did a video last night on how to make an opening trainer for this board, and I think a lot of people will find that one really useful. White to move. Okay, this one's a cool one. 1, 2, checkmate in 3. Hey, thank you for the likes. What do we got now? 1.4. Okay, so this one here is a checkmate in 3. Rook. King can't go here because of the bishop, so he has to go here. Then the bishop comes down, then he has to go here, and then the rook comes across for a nice checkmate. Move rook right, it's under attack. Yeah, well, we are going to move it, but it's not because it's under attack. Welcome everyone who's joined in. Today we're trying to do Puzzle Rush and try to get a nice high score. I think 35 is the best that I've got on here. So yeah, if you are new here, streaming 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 1 day off, and then maybe a nice long stream on Sunday. All right. Okay, so this one is, Pichu Lombro. It is A2. So initially I looked at options of here, takes, push, but then he comes back. So rather push. And if he takes, we take. And if he goes up to defend, we queen. And then he takes anyway, and we take. So I think we're starting to get out of the obvious ones now and into the ones where you got to do a little bit more calculation just to make sure everything is right. Of course, if you know your end games, which I don't, it should be a bit easier. Thank you for the follow. What's everyone's rating, by the way? Feel free to chuck them in there. Love to see. Thank you for the follow. And welcome. Doing a puzzle streak on the Chessnut move. Now it's white to move, and I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to calculate this one too much. What's going on here? Just make a queen. Now I wonder if I made a rook there, if it would have told me I was wrong. All right. So this one's a black to move, and it looks like there's a checkmate, but there's not. Instead, it's just win a piece. So we can't go here because the queen will come up. But if we go here, kind of has to take, and then we take, and then he blocks, or we go here, and then he goes here, and then we just take. Then he comes down, and then the queen blocks. So that should all be fine. So we'll see if the bishop blocks. Oh, okay. Alright, where are we at? We're at black to move, and straight away, see we've got a windmill. Yeah, rook g7, and for those of you who don't know, this is a windmill. So we go check, and they go up, and the rook comes down for check with the bishop. So they have to come back up, and then the rook goes back with check, and they have to go back again, and the rook comes down. They have to come back, and then the rook goes up with check, and they go back, and then the rook goes here, and then they come back, and then the rook takes, and you're up a bishop. I don't know if there's any mate here, but yeah, rook g7, etc. Oh, my, I wasn't even paying attention. No, that's on me. That's my bad. Instead of going there, because then the rook can take, I just had to go down there. Oh, that was silly. My bad. Let's just get a few of these puzzles out of the way, the easy ones. There we go. And what's this one? Here we go. And then here we go. And here we go. And it's white to move here. There we go. And that's a cool one. All right, so we'll start it from this one. Just got to reconnect the board because we're on a new rush. And the reason I'm starting from this one is because with the very easy ones, and I normally do this with Puzzle Rush as well, is I'll skip through the first 20 or so because they do take a little bit longer to set up. There were some good puzzles that I went through there though. However, as you can see, they were a little bit easy to find. Now this one here, I actually had to think about it a little bit, so decided to set up on the board to make sure I got it right. Okay. So, yep, the magical Harry Potter board. So yeah, so bishop takes knight, and then my fear was rook comes down, but then I realized we have bishop takes queen, and then rook takes, and we're winning. I'm not sure what you said there, Pichu, but I think you are asking something about the table. I've actually got a device underneath so that I can easily turn the board around. Ooh, thank you for the star. Who said castle? On this one? We got checkmate. Actually, I'm not sure if any of these puzzles are going to have castling as an option. Is that checkmate? Checkmate in 2? It's not checkmate, but it does win material. Oh. but you got to be careful. Okay, it's fine. So check, block, take, go there, and then move down, and then go there. I'll just turn the music on one moment. I'll finish this puzzle, and while it sets up, I'll go and turn the music on. I forgot to have it on repeat. Back in a moment. Check and free queen. Yeah, everyone got that while I was away. You all beat me to it. All right. We're up to number 13. The other day when I did this, I was doing all right up until about 25, I think. Okay, so they do have castling options. That's interesting because how do you know? How do you know when it's happened? Like, how do you know if it's happened or not? That's the Oh, okay. All right. This one took me a little bit to figure out, but it is there. So it is rook takes, and then if king goes here, for example, to protect the bishop, or even here, the rook can come down, and then the king's got to move somewhere, and then we take the bishop, and then you've got 2 and 3 versus 2 and 1. So that seems pretty. Oh, 2 and 1 and 1 actually, because we win the pawn. Alright, we're at 14 now. I think it's 14 our PB for today. I think it is. Yeah, the moves are listed on the right hand side. I've just cut them off here, but I could show you, but I don't want to ruin the layout of the stream just in case anything goes wrong. But yeah, they are. Yeah, I think I can. So if I bring it over here, I think you'll see the moves are there. But yeah, it's a bit of a hassle to go through a game. But I guess if you need to, you will have to. This one just goes back to the basic. Yeah, queen f8, queen sack. Back rank checkmate. And I think that's why I'm liking Puzzle Streak more, because in Puzzle Rush, the first 10 to 15 puzzles all seem to be back rank checkmate. It gets a bit old. How does he deal with G6? I don't see any issue with G6. What do you mean pawn to G7? Take. Yeah, G6 was pretty easy find on that one. I don't know. I don't. Not for me, it's not. Here it is 10 a.m. 10:14. But no, that's all good. That's all good. This one wins a queen. Oh, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. When's your comp today? So bishop here, check, discovered attack. And they could either capture with the pawn or they could block with the queen. I don't think it really matters, but yeah, they don't have any good reply. Very good. Good luck. What type of competition is it? All right, good luck, man. Let us know how you go. So I want to say 3 a.m. I'm not sure. Yeah, on some city in a place. I'm from Australia though. I'm over in Sydney. Okay, this one's white to move. Does that not just promote the queen for a checkmate? I can see how some people would get tricked into doing the rook move there. And this one's black to move. These puzzles are a bit easy, but it's also a little bit unforgiving. So, black to move. Okay. This one's just winning the promotion. Are they a bit easy? Yes and no. They're good little exercises, and they get more and more challenging each time. I expect them to start getting a lot harder at about 25. We are at... Yeah, unfortunately, I had a spider take over my office the other day. He ran right across the desk over here. He's really cheeky too. He climbed into the room. He climbed into the room, I saw him, and he jumped at me and I ran. And then while I was working here, he climbed up the back of my PC, up the USB cable. And then when I went to get him, he disappeared. And then the following day he came out right as I finished my stream and he ran right up to the side of my board. Checkmate in 2. Push. He can't go there and he can't go there, so he has to go here and then push. Yeah, b4 and e4. It's nice. Alright, the next one is oh yeah, what was the puzzle, do you remember? And yeah, we do have a lot of spiders here, and the problem with spiders is a lot of them are harmless. But the problem is there are a couple that aren't. And and it's like what do you do? Do you trust that it's harmless? Or hey, thank you for the follow. This one here, I hate endgames. Two options are very clear. Now, king takes, pawn takes, and then rook takes is bad, but king takes, king takes is good. And then pawn takes must be bad. Yeah, so I think king takes, but yeah, I might check out Chess Tempo. I want to see if it works with this board. Because I have had people ask me, because I think somebody bought the woodpecker method on Chess Tempo, and they wanted to know if it works with this board. So I will need to check out Chess Tempo. I might do that this afternoon, after I clear off all the admin work I have to do. Black to move. Yeah, so there is a fork. Fork seems good. So it is black to move. Okay, looks like knight takes pawn, knight takes knight, and then rook takes bishop check, and then he's got to move, and then you take the knight. Knight takes c6. Yeah. Guys, if you're just joining, today we're doing Puzzle Streak on Lead Chess, and we're seeing if we can get to a new record. I think, if anyone was here the other day, what did we get to? About 30? So aiming for about 35 today. And yeah, so I'm using Lead Chess today to do my puzzles. And this is black to move, and it just looks like a checkmate in 1, 2, 3. Checkmate in 3. Let's see. Check. And then check. And then checkmate. This one also checkmate in 3. Rook takes pawn, king takes rook. Queen to g4 check. King to f1, and then rook to h1 checkmate. Does the board work with Chessable? Yes, it does. I've done a video on how to connect Chessable to your laptop. Yes. Yeah, I've done a... sorry, I was thinking of Chessbase. Yes, it does work with Chessable as well, and you can use it on your phone. And I think I also used it on my laptop. But yeah, it can definitely be done on your phone. Chessable is in the Chessnut app. What's this one? Black to move. Checkmate in 2. Goes up for check, and the queen can't capture because she's pinned. And then once here, the queen can just take. I'll move the score up a little bit. I can see it's not showing up on the phone correctly. Okay, so end game times. Here we go. Okay, I think I was doing it the wrong way. I was looking from Black's point of view. I was looking at this move here, because if takes take and then the king is in time to get the pawn. So I was looking at here, king goes back, take, and then these pawns both cover this, and then the king could come around. But it's actually white to move. And now it's a lot easier from this point of view. So here I got pawn takes, check, and then pawn takes, check, and then king here. And then you just come through and you just clean up all the pawns. So that's easier side to be on. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so Dominic, back to your question, does it work with Chessable? Yes, it does. But mind you, even though it works with Chessable, every Chessable course is designed differently. So some courses would probably be amazing, such as the Woodpecker. But I feel like using an opening course would struggle, simply because there's a lot of repetition in there. And repetition is fine, but when it's asking you to repeat every move one by one, so they play e4, you play e5, they play knight f3, you play knight c6, and then the board resets, and then you have to do, then the board resets back one move, and then they play a move. It's going to be painful. But if you want it for openings, check out my new video. I'm sure you've already checked it out. I'm sure you got those notifications on. Turn on notifications, please. All right, let's get into the next puzzle. So it is black to move. Yeah, queen e6. What's wrong with queen e6? It just seems logical, doesn't it? Oh yeah, the board is great for over the board. You know, if you practice every day playing on a screen, even if you're doing like actual training, it's not going to compare to training on a physical board. And this board is a physical board. Yeah, the pieces look a little bit different, but every chess set looks a little bit different. I haven't even worked this one out. I'm about to do it. Queen takes rook. Knight takes knight. Queen takes knight. Yeah, okay. Queen takes rook seems safe. So yeah, over the board play, like if you really want to get better at the game, you need to be doing puzzles. And when you're doing advanced puzzles, you need to be doing them on a physical board. Okay, white to play. Okay, so this one's remove the defender. Yes, bishop b3. Bishop b3. Check. Bishop blocks. Take. King takes. And then take the rook. What are we doing? Black to move. Okay, just exploring other options before I commit to bishop f4. So bishop f4, rook takes, and then you get check. And then I have to do something, and then you take, and you're up a rook. Exploring these as well. There's a bishop there, because that would have been nice. And I don't see anything else, so I think bishop f4. Yeah, a few people got that pretty quick. Okay, the next one's going to be white to move. I'll be back in a moment. the score there because it was slightly getting pushed down off the screen. All right, I've got one piece that isn't on the board that should be. It's a pawn, and now it is white to move. Okay, so the first thing that I see here is this undefended piece, and it was a undefended, so he took a pawn. So you got a fork. Now the fork can be blocked. Okay, so the fork doesn't work, but then we've got a discovered attack as well. And even if he leaves the knight there to block the fork, it doesn't matter because it's coming up here. Who's saying no? Maybe you were saying no when I was exploring the fork option. We've got to explore everything. Guys, if you haven't already followed yet, make sure you hit follow. We can't see the numbers of the puzzles. Oh. Sorry about that for those on YouTube. I don't know why it's getting pushed down. All right. So what's this one? White to move. I've seen this puzzle before. Queen here check, and let's say king moves. We can take. They can take, and we can take, and we win a piece. But queen here, block. This time we take, and then no matter how they capture, we just capture back with whichever piece. Queen g5, queen g7, rook h5, yeah. So, just got to explore both options here, but yeah, that's a check. My elo is different on each platform, so around 2000 on Chess is what I was playing at when I used to play on Chess. That was a couple of years ago. Chess.com 1750, down from 19 something. And FIDE is 1690. Road to Mastery just joined. Welcome. Guys, I'll be back in a moment. And somebody asked, where do you buy this? I'll pop the website up for you real quick. You can go to wiggy.com/chessnut. And I've done reviews and tutorials on all of these boards so that you can check them out and decide which board is the right one for you. And there is a sale on at the moment. I do have a code in there which will get you 17% off, and this sale is good until the 20th of April, so a couple more days. All right, sorry about that. Where are we at? So we're black to move. And no one said anything in the chat, so maybe it's a little bit more difficult this time. Yeah, black to move. We're up to number 33. I'm not seeing this one. Not seeing it. Okay. Okay. I was looking at here, but then he takes. So here, takes, but here has that. Then it's actually back. And if he takes, you hit with check. We're up to 34 now. That last one was a tough one for me to find. This one's going to be white to move. White to move, and the first move that I'm going to look at is queen here. Yep, I think queen there is a correct move. So queen here, if he goes here, then it's checkmate, and queen here, if he blocks, we got some goodness here, maybe check. And not sure after that one, but this is looking promising so far. So queen here blocks, take with the pawn, and if he goes here, queen can come down here for check. You can't take the pawn because it's protected, it comes over here and then there. And if we go, what am I doing? If we go check, blocks, and then he goes here, that I don't see a move for. It is actually, it's not that. It's check, blocks, and then take, and then he goes down. We just go up because the rook is protecting. That was harder than it needed to be. Queen f7, king h8, queen. Queen f7, king h8, queen f8. I don't think queen f8. Oh yeah, queen f8, yeah. So I made that one a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but whoops, but we got there. Okay, the next one's going to be white to move. We're at 34. The target was, we're at 35 actually, so we've caught up to the target. Why did everyone stop? Okay. What am I gonna do? Where's that rook? There he is. Little roadblock here. That's alright. Cool. Okay. White to move. So, little important fact, black has checkmate on the next move, so straight away we know that this needs to be something where we just win the game. Nice little crash, but we're back. All right, so knowing that it's checkmate, we need to find some forcing moves. Otherwise, that's coming next turn. Now, I've looked at a few of the moves. I can't find anything yet. So maybe the answer is to attack the queen to stop the checkmate. But first, I'm going to explore this move. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing this move here. So check. Let's say he goes here. I can't put the queen on either of these. If I take, he can take with the rook, and then the queen can go back over here, but then the pawn can block. And I'm not seeing a good continuation from there. Obviously, that's no good. Ah, okay. Okay, it is good. So it's not checkmate. Either way, it's a discovered check. Discovered attack. Is that what you guys got? Yeah. Yeah. So, check. Say check. Yeah, winning the queen. So that was one of those moments where I was focused on the wrong goal. What is my opinion of the Chessnut 2 smartboard? Is that the one that looks like a disco dance floor? There's my answer. No, in all seriousness, I haven't ever seen one in person, so I can't give an opinion. Except I think it's the one that looks like a dance floor. So. Okay, is this checkmate in 2? Yeah, if it's the one that looks like a dance floor, I'm not a fan of that. I like a classical looking board more. I think this board that I'm using here is as fancy as I'll go, as far as not a classical looking board. I do have video reviews of all of the boards that are showing on screen now, so you can check those out. But the one that I like the look of the best is the Pro, because it just looks like a normal chessboard with no, it doesn't look like an electronic chessboard, it just looks like a fancy wooden set. But yeah, as far as fancy boards go, I think I like a more classical looking board. And that's very important when picking your board. You got to have a board that you're happy with. The Pro and the Chessnut 2, I don't think the Chessnut 2 moves. The Pro doesn't move, no. But sometimes I'm happy moving the pieces. It's when I'm doing puzzles, that's when I want to use the move. So here, check. And first move that comes to mind is going there, and then the knight comes in, check, and I don't see a way out for the king. And of course, if he goes over here, it's still the same result. All right, we're at 37. I think we're ahead of our PB the other day of, I think it was 35. So hopefully we can continue this. The top score on Puzzle Rush was 60. Now this is already a lot harder than Puzzle Rush, but still doable. I wonder if this game was a King's Indian attack, because it's got the design of a King's Indian attack, where this pawn has had to come up eventually to kick away the bishop. These knights have gone to the center. Maybe a King's Indian attacker already. I'm very curious. Okay, so I don't know if it's a King's Indian attack now, but yeah. So let's reset the board to the puzzle again. So the only move I'm seeing right now is knight takes pawn, and then queen takes knight, and then you've got the fork. But this doesn't seem right to me. That's not the move. That took me way too long to figure out. It is bishop trapping the queen, so the rook has to block. Yep. Bishop h5. Yeah. Yeah, so that was a case of I really wanted to figure this one out, because the reason I mentioned the opening is because I actually played the King's Indian attack from time to time, and this felt very similar. And you know, if I'm not working out the puzzles in my own opening, I'm looking at the chat, then that's a problem on me. So, yeah. There was definitely too much of a focus of going this way and trying to find ideas that worked through that way, and sacrifices and all that kind of good stuff. But then it's simply just winning a queen. Lower screen is frozen for some reason. Let me have a look. How good, how good. That's so weird. Okay, let me see if I can. Is it working again? Are we good? Oh, Nathaniel, welcome back, welcome back. All right, perfect. Thank you for letting me know. By the way, I had a look at one of your games. Again, if you want, we can go through it, because I noticed something interesting in the opening that I feel you need to know about, because you were the King's Indian perk player, weren't you? Who I recommended to play e4, e5. Okay, so it's black to move. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, so after I get one of the puzzles wrong, we'll go over that real quick if you're still around. It's just something that I noticed, and you know, share the knowledge. So it's black to move, and the only move that I can come up with right now is rook takes pawn, king takes, and then you've got a check. Then he goes there, and then you win a rook back, but I'm not sure if that's enough. And of course, if he ignores completely, you can start taking other pieces. So if he goes here and you take, and then he goes here, then you don't have another check actually. I thought you might have had it here, but you don't. Oh my, what am I doing? It's just straight here, straight away. You don't need to sacrifice the rook. It's just a fork. Just a fork. It's just a fork. This is why I don't play Blitz. Black to move. And the very first move that I'm going to explore without looking at anything on the board is bishop takes. Okay, I don't know if it's bishop takes. So I'm going to give up on bishop takes and I'm going to have a look at something else. So next check is queen to e2. And because we know the knight is pinned, they can't capture. And then it's just going to be a checkmate. If I can draw the lines correctly, which I can't. Yeah, we're getting a lot of queen e2 action going on here. All right, white to move, and we're at 40. Okay, white to move, and the very first idea I notice is this king is in a very, very weird spot. Next I notice that the bishop is protecting this knight, so he can't take the knight. Then I notice that he can't get out here or here, which gives him only 2 squares to play around with. He can't go to this one, so he can only go here. And then the pawn goes up, goes across, knight goes up here for check, and he goes up, and then the pawn pushes up here. But that's not checkmate. But let's keep exploring. All right, there we go. Check, and then come back here for checkmate. Bishop covers the escape, knight covers the square here, knight covers these squares here. Yeah. H3 check, and then knight to d4. H3 and then knight to f3. But yeah, h3 check. And then knight to f3. Alright, white to move, white to move. Okay. Oh, that's meant to be a pawn over here. So I'm seeing a discovered attack straight away. So bishop takes, queen takes, and then discovered attack on the queen. Not bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes. Not that. Yeah, definitely had to take with the pawn there. Okay, so this one's going to be white to move. And we're at 42. Rook takes bishop. Pawn takes rook. Rook takes pawn. Queen takes pawn. Okay, so rook takes. Pawn takes. We can't take with the rook because then he could go out this way. But rook takes, pawn takes, and then queen takes. And then queen comes back. Pichu, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying there. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit follow. We are trying to get to 400 today. Hopefully we can do it, but being a weekday, it is a little bit quieter. Okay, white to move. I'm seeing made in 3. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong piece. Hold on. Okay, made in 2. So, check. It's only got one square that he can go to, which is here, and then rook comes up. That looks good, yeah. Bishop e2. What do we get? Made in 2. Bishop e2, yeah. Okay, this one is black to move. I just see a fork. I see, I did see a fork until that. So I saw fork, but if he captures, then we go here. So that's fine. So what I saw was fork, and then move and then take. So yeah, that's fine. we're at 45. And it's going to be white to move. We've got quite a few people over on YouTube today. Hello to everyone on YouTube. If you are new over there, make sure you hit subscribe. New videos coming out every week. Okay. So white to move. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. That puzzle does not belong at level 45. I don't think this puzzle belongs at 45 either. But it does have something that does belong at 45 that could be easily missed. So check, has to take, check, goes here, take, mate. So we just got to be a little bit careful there, a little bit careful. The first move is still going to be here, I believe, because who doesn't want a free queen? And then from there, that's where I'm looking at. So and then from there, the rook can come up here. And then I think it would have been checkmate on the next move anyway. After, oh maybe not, but after bishop. Oh no, doesn't matter. Still winning, that's all that matters. And we're at 47. Okay, this one's black to move, but I gotta rotate the board. This might be the end because I always get end games wrong, but I'm thinking a king here. But I'm also thinking pawn here, because if pawn here takes up, down, doesn't really matter. I can go here, but I'll probably just go here, take here, here, take here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that's not good. Is it an opposition puzzle? King here, up, push. No. So here, up, push, up. You know what? I think it is here, and he goes up, and I go here. If he goes up, that's the problem. Then I go here, he takes, and I take, but then he goes here, and then I go here, and then he's got this pawn that can run down. And anytime I try to push, he can take, and then he goes there. What I'm thinking is, I hate endgames. Okay. Push, take, then king here. Then he goes there. Push, take, king here, goes there, and then push up. Then he goes here. Then I push up. Then he takes, and I go here. I mean, we're at 47. The pawn up looks good, except I can't find a way to make it work. Wait. Wait. Is it that? So, king up. Oh, excuse me. King up, pawn takes, and then push. And if he doesn't take, then I take, which is good for me. And if he pushes, it's good for me. Oops. So king up, take, king up, take, push. Has to take. Goes there. And then if he tries to push, the king is too far away, we can get in there. And if the king comes up, he actually blocks off the pawn. It's tough. It's tough. King f6 looks like the logical move to protect the pawn. But this here, take, push, take, push here. Ah, it doesn't protect. I miscalculated. No, wait, it does. No, it doesn't. I miscalculated. I'm gonna have to go with f6 because I'm not finding anything else. Okay, I miscalculated this one. I did look at this, but I instantly dismissed it because the king would come in and then just push. Damn, what a shame. What a shame. Did anyone have G5? G5, H4. Yeah. Okay, a few of you had it. Yeah, no, endgames are not my strong point. I knew as soon as I saw it at this level, I knew it was going down. But 47 without any errors. And yeah, the puzzle rating 2000. So I think I can do better than 47 in the future. But for today, I think 47 is going to be the new PB because I won't have time to do another puzzle rush. But I am going to quickly do a quick game review for somebody watching. So let me just set that up because I just wanted to point something out. Can I do it on here? Is there an analysis? Nathaniel, are you still around? Cool. So I just wanted to point out one game that you had, and I'm not going to go too far into the game, but I just want to point out the opening because it was one of your recent games, and let me know if you remember this game. So, why can't I? Chapter. position black. White to play. There we go. All right, so let me know if you remember this game. See if I can line that up on the screen a bit better. Just line it up just a little bit better. Okay, all right, so let me know if you remember this game here. From one of your recent games. Nathaniel, does this game ring a bell to you? I think it was one that you lost as well. Might be a little bit of a stream delay here too. I'm watching it over on Twitch. Alright, so this is not the Trompowski, this is the Roy Lopez. So the Trompowski, I believe, starts with d4. And then bishop comes out here. I believe that's the Trompowski. I don't really know much about it, and I've never really played it. Never had it played against me. Might start learning it too. But this one here was a game you played, you were black, and this is the Roy Lopez. Now in the Roy Lopez, we push the pawn because we don't want them taking the knight and then taking our pawn. And typically white doesn't want to take the pawn because it doesn't want to take the knight because they're giving up a knight for a bishop. That's bad because a bishop is actually slightly better. If you give up your light squared bishop, you lose control of every single light square on the board for the rest of the game. So instead of giving up your light squared bishop, white will retreat. And then whenever black is ready, they can push the bishop away to break this pin. So it could be a case of they want to bring their piece up here, and then later in the game they want to break this pin, they can push up. Now in the game that you played, you attacked the bishop, and instead of them retreating, they actually took the knight. Now there's two ideas here you can take with the outside pawn or the inside pawn. And generally taking with the outside pawn is considered good habit because you bring your pieces towards the center. But you're actually meant to take with the inside pawn, which is what you did. And there's a very good reason for doing that. And that is they can capture and then your queen can come out and attack two pieces at the same time. So that's typically what happens. Now, what happened in this game was the player developed their pawn, supporting their own pawn. And here's where your opportunity to stay in the game was lost, because not only is this pawn under attack and no longer defended, but now you've lost the idea of coming up here. So if they were to, let's say you do a move, if they were to take, you no longer have the resource here, because you're only attacking one piece, you're not attacking the pawn, because if they move back, you lose your queen. So here, there needs to be a good move. A move that protects this pawn, such as developing your bishop. And then, you know, you can play out your game however you want. And get to a comfortable position. Maybe get rid of this soon. But instead in the game, you played pawn here. And that was a very interesting move, because I don't remember if he took advantage of it. I think he did. He just went the free center pawn, and a center pawn is very valuable. So you gave up that center pawn, but also this move here achieves nothing. It weakens you slightly, because yeah, you've got two pieces eyeing off this square, two pawns, but now he can actually go knight here and then knight here and create an outpost temporarily, but it's still an option. And the other thing that it does wrong is it doesn't develop any of your minor pieces. So instead of studying the Trompowsky, which, by the way, don't study openings at your level, study opening principles, because getting overwhelmed by all these different opening ideas right now, when you don't have the fundamentals down, opening principles, control the center, develop your minor pieces, castle nice and early. That's what you need to be doing right now. Not moving the same piece multiple times. Now this is a pawn, not a piece, but yeah, I'm moving it a second time. Whereas you should be looking at your undefended pieces, and you should be looking at how can I develop my minor pieces. And right here we've got the bishop develops, protects a pawn, and you're one step closer to castling. So this is just a good move. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out in the stream for you, because it would give you a chance to ask any questions if you had any. Now, I think there is a bit of a delay, unfortunately, and I don't know how to get rid of it, but I'll try. But I am going to call it a day now. Now, I do stream Monday to Fridays. However, tomorrow I have an appointment and I won't be able to stream tomorrow. I shouldn't say appointment, a meeting. And I won't be able to stream tomorrow. So I am going to take tomorrow off and treat myself to a day off. But I might be back on Saturday, and I'll definitely be back on Sunday. So I have my website here, wiggy.com, and I will be updating the schedule each week on the main page. So that's wiggy.com. And if you want to check out any of these boards that I'm using, you can also go to, I think my computer just crashed again. But you can also go to wiggy.com/chessnut. I've done reviews on all of these videos, so feel free to check them out. And my computer's just crashed, but I am about to take off anyway. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Don't forget to follow and hit subscribe if you're on YouTube. See you later.